fine, Miss Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's troubles with the Hogan family have been cleared up by Mousey Gray. First, the amazing Mousey knocked out Snake Hogan, and then he eloped with Snake's old maid sister Gussie, thus leaving Lum a happy, free spirit once again, with no fear of matrimony hanging over him. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner settling back into the routine tasks of their combined jot-and-down store, bakery, and library. Lum is on the telephone. Listen.
Your groceries ought to be there any minute now, Gussie. Yes, Mom. Well, Cedric's making a delivery for us today, and he left some time ago. Well, you tell Mousey to try and control his temper, because your order will be there right away. All right, Gussie. Goodbye.
What's the matter, Lum? Is Mousey mad again?
All they ordered was a little sugar and some syrup and a can of cocoa. And Gussie says Mousey's getting himself in a rage because it ain't there yet.
Doggy, that Mousey's getting to be the toughest one feller in this town, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what's came over him.
I heard this morning that he knocked down one of them big husky fellers that works over at the mill. That there Tuffy Gates, I believe it was.
You mean... Oh, for goodness sakes, no.
He done it, yes, sir. It happened right after Mousey went back to work after him and Gussie loafed and got married. Natural, and mill hands started joshing him about it, you know.
Oh, yes, the mill hands josh him something awful.
Well, not no more, they don't. They tell me that Mousey never said a word when they started joshing him. Just walked up to the biggest one of them that was over there, doubled up his fist, and wham, knocked him clean out, just like he done to you and Snake Hogan.
No, there ain't no getting around it. That Mousey's got a terrible punch.
Well, they're saying around now that Snake is sort of scared of him. Since Mousey got himself hitched to Gussie and moved in with the Hogans over there, say that Snake shines Mousey's boots every night before he goes over to the mill to night watch.
Prattle. You oughtn't to believe all that stuff, Abner.
Well, it's the truth. And they say he carries Mousey's lunch pail for him every night and goes over there.
Wait a minute, who's that coming up out there?
Huh?
Oh, Grandpappy Spears.
Huh?
I wonder where he's been keeping himself the last few days.
Oh, I don't think he's been feeling his level best, sort of staying close to home, I think. At least that's what Charity told Elizabeth over the phone.
Well, I did hear that he was sort of on a funeral list.
Yeah.
But I got to admit it's sort of a relief not to have him sitting over there in the library saying, according to the almanac every 2 minutes.
What's that he's carrying with him there? Looks like a great big piece of cardboard of some kind.
More likely a poster. He's always tearing down posters so they can take them home and read them. Well, howdy, Grandpap.
Come on in, Grandpap.
Howdy.
What you got there?
Big carnival's coming to town.
Carnival?
Yes, sir, according to the poster here.
Well?
Coming soon. Bexley and Blakewell's Little Giant Carnival and Wild West Show.
My dog is a carnival. Did you hear that, Lum? A carnival.
I heard it. Anybody'd think you never saw a carnival before in your whole life.
What else did it say, Grandpap?
50 sideshows, 50. Reckon what that second 50's on there for?
I don't know. Maybe it means they got 100 sideshows altogether.
Yeah, more likely.
Hey, doggy, that's a big carnival. 100 sideshows,
Well,
huh?
don't holler. I'm standing right here by you.
Oh, yeah. Read the rest of it, Grandpap.
Gala Amusement Zone. Thrilling caterpillar ride. Ferris wheel and merry-go-round.
Oh, that's what little Pearl loves. A merry-go-round. Oh, she'll just die if I don't take her to that. There ain't no one thing that girl loves more than to stand there and watch me ride on a merry-go-round.
Watch you ride?
It just tickles her to death. Of course, I wave to her every time when I go by, you know.
For goodness sake.
Go on, read some more, Grandpap.
Gala Amusement Zone. Thrilling caterpillar ride. Ferris wheel
You read that part.
Oh. 50 sideshows, 50.
Doggies, 100 more. That makes 200 sideshows. Well, that's the biggest carnival I ever heard
Still
of.
amusement zone, thrilling
Wait a minute, Grandpap. You just keep reading the same thing over and over. What does it say down below there?
Oh, Texas Tom and his Rough Riders. A thrill a minute. The world's greatest Wild West show. 60 beautiful cowgirls. 60.
And see, that makes 120 cowgirls. Reckon why they don't just put down 120. That'd be a heap easier to figure out.
Yeah, but that don't mean there's 120 cowgirls. There's just 60, that's all.
Well, what's that other 60 on there for then? Does that mean how old they are?
How old they are?
Yeah, 60-year-old cowgirls. Those them women sort of old will be out there riding around on them wild horses and loafing in the bull.
Yeah, but there ain't no old women riding on wild horses, so get that idea out of your head right now.
Well, what are they riding on? Cows?
For goodness sake.
That's more than likely how they get that name cowgirl. I still think
60-year-old girls?
Well, that's what it says there. They're too old to be doing work like that at their age. I still say that. They oughtn't even to be doing field work.
Listen to this. Special attraction. Man of Steel to meet all comers.
Man of Steel?
Yes, sir. Man of Steel. Iron Ike offers $100 to any man who can stay 2 rounds with him.
Well, is Iron Steel the Man of Steel? Is that Iron Ike, yes?
I reckon so. But listen to this. And to any man who can knock him out, Iron Ike offers $1,000.
$1,000?
Jeez, I'd like to get that myself. I could use $1,000 just about now.
You? Why, you couldn't knock out no Man of Steel, Lum.
I know it. I wish I could, though. I wonder how long it'd take a feller to get in shape for that.
Huh?
Have we got any books in the library on box fighting?
Oh, now, Lum, you might as well just give this up before you ever get started. Why, even Mousey Gray knocked you down.
Yeah, but that was just an act of... Wait a minute. Granny, that's it.
What's it?
Mousey. That's what we'll do. We'll get Mousey to fight him.
Well, why, sure. I told you that's a good idea, Lum. Good for you.
Wait a minute. You fellers mean you're going to put that little puny Mousey Gray up against Iron Ike, this feller here? Why, sure. I'll be his manager.
I doggies won't old Iron Ike be surprised when little Mousey climbs into that ring and hits him that first blow.
Sassy fresh. Mousey couldn't hurt nobody.
He couldn't, huh? Ain't you heard about him knocking out Lum and Snake Hogan?
Mousey Gray done that?
Why, sure he done it. Yes, sir. And then he whipped one of them big husky mill hands down there.
Well, I do know. Well, I heard about him loping with Snake Hogan's sister, Gussie, and I knowed it takes a heap of nerve to get hitched to a woman like her, but I never knowed he could whip Snake.
Oh, yeah? He's got to where he's the meanest, toughest fella around here, Grandpa.
Yeah, that's right, Grandpa.
Oh, he's changed. You wouldn't know Mousey now.
Well, he must have changed. Last time I saw him, he wouldn't pick a fight with nobody.
No. Well, when he hit Lum, that's the first fight he ever had in his life, he said. That's what he said.
And the good thing about it is that he's a natural-born fighter, too.
Why, sure he is.
That's right. He'd never had a fight in his whole life before he hit me the other day.
No, a natural-born fighter, that's what he is.
Well, I'll be dogged. I just can't hardly believe that. Little Mousey Gray.
Well, I'll admit it don't seem right, Grandpa, but it's the truth. Everybody in town's afraid of Mousey now.
Granny, I know one thing we got to do, and that's change that name of Mousey.
Change the name?
Yeah, that's one reason why he don't seem like a fighter to us. We got to study up some good mean-sounding name.
Mean-sounding name, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. I know what does sound mean.
Cyclone Gray or...
How about Dynamite?
Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe something like Killer.
Yeah. Well, I doggy, we could use both of them. Dynamite, Killer, Gray. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good. That'll scare Iron Ike before the carnival ever gets to town, even.
Why, sure it will. Name like that.
Wait a minute, that reminds me. How soon is that carnival coming to town, Granddad? Does it say? Yeah, let's see here. Don't it say here somewhere? Yeah, coming to Pine Ridge next weekend, it says.
Well...
Denny, that don't give us much time to get Dynamite Killer into shape, does it?
No.
No, we got to work fast. I better call him and get him over here right away. Talk to him about it.
Yeah, that's the time, Lum. Well, what do we have to do to get him in shape?
Oh, tough as he is, he won't need much. You can be his sparring partner, Abner.
Sparring partner?
Yeah. That means he'll practice hitting on you.
Well, wait a minute now, Lum. I ain't gonna get beat up just so he can whip that iron.
Hello, this you, Gussie? This is Lum Abner. Is Killer Dynamite, Mousey there? He's what? Oh. Well, can you just come to the phone a minute? Well, no, we don't want to get him mad. Well, listen, Gussie, would you just ask him to come over to the store as soon as he can? It's important. I know, but... Oh, no, now, don't get him riled up. Well, all right, Gussie. Goodbye.
Is Mousey coming over?
No, he won't be over today. He can't be disturbed.
Why not?
Well, you know that stuff they order? It's sugar and syrup and cocoa.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Killer Dynamite is making fudge.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, a carnival's on its way to Pine Ridge, and one of its features is a fighter named Iron Ike, who will meet all comers and who's offered $1,000 to anyone who could knock him out. Realizing that little, frail-looking Mousey Gray actually packs a terrific punch, Lum has been trying to talk Mousey into meeting Iron Ike, but so far his efforts have been to no avail. Today, as we look in on the little community, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store, and Lum has just returned from another conference with Mousey. Listen.
Any luck this time, Lum?
No luck. Hey, that Mousey Gray is not only the toughest one feller in this town, he's the stubbornest one, too.
Well, won't he fight Iron Ike?
No,
Well, why won't he?
'cause he ain't mad at him. That's what he keeps saying. He says he can't see no reason for fighting a feller he ain't mad at.
Well.
And as I argued with him for an hour trying to explain that a box fight's different from getting mad and fighting, but he can't see it that way.
Well, did you tell him about the money? The $1,000 that Iron Ike says he'll give to any feller that knocks him out?
Yeah, but even that never done no good.
You mean Mousey don't want no $1,000?
Oh, he'd like to have that all right. Said he'd like to buy Gussie a lot of stuff with the money, but he ain't mad and he won't fight.
Well, I'll be dead blamed.
And if he'd have been a sensation, too. A overnight sensation. There'd be great big headlines in all the big newspapers. Sensation knockout by Lum Abner's protege.
Protege?
Yeah, it means Mousey's sort of my discovery.
Oh.
See, I was going to be his manager and boxing promoter and take him to New York and all such as that. Now, all that's lost just 'cause Mousey won't get mad at a feller.
Well, why don't we just get Mousey mad at him then?
Huh?
That's what we can do, Lum. Tell Mousey something that'll make him hate and despise Iron Ike.
Yeah, but well, what are we going to tell him, though?
Why? Well, don't you recollect how Mousey got mad at you that time he come over and knocked you down?
Well, that was on account of he thought I'd give Gussie a locket for a present.
Well, sure, that's what we can tell Mousey that Iron Ike's fixing to do now.
Wait a minute. Granny's Abner, that's the best one-outy you ever had. Yeah, get Mousey on the phone right away.
Well, here, I don't want to get mixed up.
Hurry up. We ain't got many days left to get Mousey in training for the fight. Go on, ring him up.
Well, all right, I'll try.
Make it sound like it was some gossip you just happened to overhear.
Gossip, huh?
Yeah. Tell him Iron Ike admires Gussie. That ought to make him mad enough.
Yeah, well, now, we don't want to get him too mad, Lum. Don't forget that mean temper he's got.
Yeah, that's right. Well, don't make it too strong.
No, I'll get... wait a minute. Hello? Is that you, Mousey? Well, this is Abner Peabody. Oh, tolerably well, I reckon. Listen, Mousey, I just happened to overhear some gossip about Iron Eyes.
Tell him he admires Gussie.
He admires Gussie. Oh, I just overheard it.
Tell him about the present, Abner.
He's going to bring her a present when the carnival gets here. Just a minute. He wants to know what the present is, Lum.
Oh, I don't know. Tell him anything. A pair of pink bedroom slippers or anything.
A pair of pink bedroom slippers. Yeah, and he said that he would... Hello? 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 Oh, he must have hung up.
Yeah, good. That's a good sign, Abner. He's sure enough mad now.
Well, you don't think we got him too mad, do you?
I don't think so. We need something strong like this to get him stirred up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be a big boxing promoter yet. I better be getting me one of them big bathrobes.
Bathrobe?
Yeah, that's what the big champion boxers wears whenever they climb into the boxing ring. Seen some pictures of them once in the moving pictures.
Oh.
They had their names sewed right across the back of the robe. Looks awfully important.
Well, you ain't going to be one of them boxing fighters, Lum.
No, but I figure the manager ought to have a bathrobe, too.
Oh.
That'll be everybody will know who I am.
Sure.
I have Lum Edwards, manager and head promoter, sewed right across the back of mine.
Good for you.
Hey, that ought to make a few eyes bug out whenever I walk into Madison Square Garden with that thing on.
Madison's Garden.
Well, sure. You don't think I'm going to stop with this little carnival fight with Iron Ike here in Pine Ridge, do you? No, sir, that's just a beginning. Iron Ike's just a stepping stone for us. I'm going to promote Mousey right up to the World Championship.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do over there in Madison's Garden?
Well, I'm going to make $1 million or $1,000. That's what I'm going to do.
Not on the wages old Buford pays, you won't.
Old Buford?
Yeah, ain't that who you're talking about, old Buford Madison? He's the only Madison around here I know of. It's got a garden.
For goodness sake. I said Madison Square Garden.
Well, I don't know what shape it is. All I know is it ain't a very big garden. And old Buford won't pay nobody over 15 cents an hour to work in it. Ask Cedric. He worked over there for a while last summer. Old Buford make him work awful fast, Lum. I don't believe you could keep up.
I ain't aiming on keeping up with nobody at Buford's place.
Well, he'll fire you then. Fact is, I doubt if he'll even hire you in the first place, going over in a bathrobe.
I weren't talking about Buford's garden.
You said you was going to walk in there wearing a bathrobe with your name sewed across the back. Bogus old Buford's going to think you're a little catch, Lum. Fact is, I do, too.
Listen, Abner, the Madison Square Garden I'm talking about is in New York City.
New York City?
Yes, sir, right in the middle of it. A great big place.
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah, they'll more like to pay higher wages for garden work there than old Buford does.
Abner, this is a place where they have a lot of big fights.
Big fights? Oh, well, them garden workers ought to learn to get along with one another better. They won't make no money if they're going to fight all the time. Maybe you oughtn't to go there, Lum. That might be a dangerous place.
You got the wrong idea, Abner. In the kind of garden I'm talking about, they don't grow nothing.
They don't?
Of course not.
Well, I know you oughtn't to go then. You never would make no money in a garden like that. Have they tried irrigating?
For goodness sake. Madison Square Garden is a great big building in New York where they hold boxing fights and basketball games and 6-day bicycle racing and all such as that.
They do?
Why, sure.
Well, no wonder they can't grow nothing. Them bicycles run around all over everything. Now, if they'll keep them bicycles out of there and put up some fences and cut out that fighting and
Abner, it ain't a garden, it's a building.
You said it was...
I know, but that's just what it's called. Wait a minute. See, that's our ring.
I still think they water it good and keep them bicycles off.
Hello, jot 'em down, store, library, and bakery. Lum Edwards, box promoter, and manager speaking.
Don't have to go there to start no fight
Huh?
in the garden.
Oh, hello, Gussie.
Over to Elizabeth's garden.
No, Mousey ain't here.
Start riding bicycles, scuffling.
You mean he's coming down to the store?
He'll whip him and Mousey both.
He did, huh?
Oh, Mr. Awful mad.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he stakes them dunes up.
Well, I do know.
Scuffle all over him.
Well, thank you for the warning, Gussie.
Wouldn't do it.
All right. Goodbye. Abner, can you see Mousey coming down the street?
Mousey? No.
Well, he'll be here in a minute.
Huh?
Gussie said he's heading over here, and she's feared he's mad again.
I don't give my idea. Must have worked, Lum.
Yeah, she said he got some kind of a phone call and then sat right down and wrote something on a piece of paper and then left.
Well...
Wouldn't tell her nothing about it. Acted awful mysterious, she said.
Oh, well, he's mad then. Maybe we oughtn't to have did this, Lum. You don't reckon he'll be so riled up he'll want to come over here and hit us, do you?
I hope not. That's what Gussie was warning me about.
Oh, my goodness.
Feared Mousey was mad at me again.
Oh, my. Wish now... Wait a minute. Ain't that him coming yonder?
Yeah, that's Mousey, all right. And he don't look mad.
No.
I wonder if he ever changes that expression on his face.
Well, I don't know. I feel sort of scared, though, Lum. I reckon we ought to hide and make out like we ain't here.
No, don't worry. Iron Ike's the one he's after.
Yes, huh?
Ain't no one thing makes Mousey madder than to have somebody give Gussie a present.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
know. I tried it.
Yeah, you tried that. He hit you awfully. Yeah. Very confident.
Well, howdy, Mousey. Come on in.
Hello, Lum. Abner.
What can we do for you today, Mousey?
Lum, do you know where you send a letter to Iron Ike? It's got to go right away.
Oh, Iron Ike. Well, yeah, I reckon we could take care of that for you, Mousey. You ain't mad, are you?
Well, I will be if that letter isn't sent right away, before Iron Ike comes to Pine Ridge. I may lose my temper if it misses him.
Oh, well, don't worry. We'll get it to him.
Well, I wish you would, Lum, before I go into another rage. Well, I'll appreciate it if you'll take care of it for me, Lum.
Yeah, we'll look after it for you. Don't you worry.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, Mousey. Everything will be all right now. Don't you worry about it.
Doggy. There's a mad feller if ever I seen one.
He's fit to be tied.
I'd get anything to know what he written that letter to Iron Ike.
Yeah, me too. Got me a little worried, too.
Oh, my. No,
Looks like he said get it to Iron Ike before he gets here.
Yeah.
That means he's more likely threatening Ike to stay out of town.
Just about it.
And if that happens, we won't have no box fight.
Oh, my goodness. Reckon we ought to just sort of peek in that letter, Lum.
Well, I don't like to tamper with other folks' mail.
Well, you're his manager. You ought to know
That's
what he's
right.
writing.
Just to play safe, I think we ought to.
Sure, we can seal it back up. He won't know the difference.
Tell him how strong Mousey wrote to you.
Oh, he was
Might
mad.
get us in a batch of trouble.
Yeah. Get a fight started around here.
It's a short letter, ain't it?
Yeah. What does it say, Lum?
Let's see. Dear Iron Ike, don't bring Gussie pink bedroom slippers.
Oh, he's mad. All right. Go on, Lum.
Bring her blue ones instead. That's her favorite color. Your friend, Mousey. Well, I'll be dead.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum, the new boxing promoter, is still unsuccessful in getting his protege, Mousey Gray, mad enough to fight Iron Ike and win the $1,000 which the Carnival is offering to anyone who can knock out that man of steel. There are only a few days left before the Carnival comes to Pine Ridge, so Lum is using all the pressure he can to change Mousey's mind. As we look in on the little community today, we find Cedric in charge of the Jot 'em Down store. Squire Skimp has just entered.
Howdy, Mr. Squire.
Well, hello, Cedric, my boy.
Howdy, Mr. Squire. Oh, Sidney.
Whereabouts are Lum and Abner?
Oh, they ain't here. Mr. Abner's out making some delivers, and Mr. Lum's over talking to Gussie Hogan. Gussie Gray, that's her name now.
Lum's over talking to Gussie.
Well, I hope that little romance is over now that she and Mousey have been united in blissful matrimony.
Oh, well, it ain't no romance. Lum's just trying to get Gussie to talk Mousey into fighting Iron Ike.
Iron Ike? Who in the world is Iron Ike, Cedric?
Oh, he's a box fighter. He's coming to Pine Ridge with the Carnival this week.
Oh, yes. I believe I did notice that name on the posters around town, yes. Well, this Iron Ike is a professional fighter. Little Mousey Gray wouldn't be a match for a man like him, Cedric.
Oh, yes, he would. That Mousey can whip him, I believe.
Oh, tut, Cedric.
Mousey can whip anybody. Didn't you hear about him whipping Mr. Lum and Mr. Snake?
Well, yes, of course, Cedric, but that still doesn't put him in a class with a fighter like this Iron Ike.
Well, I seen him knock down the biggest feller that works over at the mill. Done it with one hit, too. One punch Mousey. That's what they're calling him over there at the barber shop now.
Well, are you sure that he can hit that hard, Cedric?
Oh, yes, and I seen him do it. He can knock a hole right through the panel of a door with his bar fist. I seen him, boy.
Well, I do know. Why, by the way, Cedric, is there any monetary consideration connected with this fight?
Mom.
I mean, Cedric, is there any money in it?
Oh, yes, sir. Iron Ike will pay $1,000 to any fellow that can knock him out.
$1,000?
Yes, Mom, but Mousey won't even do it for that. Says he don't want to fight nobody that he ain't mad at. He won't even listen to his manager.
His manager?
Yes, Mr. Lum. He fined himself Mousey's manager.
Oh, well, in that case, Lum has nothing to worry about, Cedric. There's more than likely a clause in the contract that says Mousey will have to fight, whether he wants to or not. Or have you seen the contract, Cedric?
Contract? I don't think they got one of them. At least I never heard them say nothing about it.
Well, that's too bad that Lum didn't sign him up to where he'd have to fight. Yes, that would have been an interesting fight. Well, I'll be running along now, Cedric. Say hello to Lum and Abner for me.
Well, don't you want to buy nothing, Mr. Squire?
Oh, no. I just dropped in to pass the time of day.
Well, wait a minute. I think I see Mr. Abner coming up the street there now.
Yes, well, I haven't time to talk to him now, Cedric. I've got a lot of business to take care of over at the place. That's your phone ringing there anyway, I believe.
Oh, yeah, the phone.
Well, so long, Cedric.
So long. Hello, jot 'em down store and library and stuff. Cedric Weehunt speaking. Mom? You want what? I can't hear you. Mom? Hello? This is Cedric Weehunt speaking. Who? Well, I'm Cedric Weehunt. Must be a mistake. Mom?
For the land's sake, Cedric, you don't need to holler into the phone that way.
Hello, Mr. Abner. Here, you take the phone. I can't make out what they want.
Huh?
Keep saying they want to talk to Cedric Weehunt, and I was already talking to him. I always get so excited when I talk on that thing here.
Oh, here, I'll take it, Cedric. Hello, Abner Peabody talking. Oh, hello, Caleb. Why, sure. Yeah, just a minute, Caleb. Here, Cedric, it's your papa. He wants to talk to you.
Oh, I thought I knowed that voice. Hello, Paul. This is Cedric Weehunt speaking. This is Cedric, Paul. What do you want?
Well, there comes Lum back from Gussie's already.
Oh, all right, Paul. Goodbye.
What do you want, Cedric?
Oh, he just wanted me to get some groceries, so I guess I got to go home, Mr. Abner. Goodbye.
Well, wait a minute, Cedric. Ain't you supposed to take some groceries home with you?
Yeah, but I can't take them yet.
Well, why can't you?
Well, I got to go home first and ask him what groceries he wants. I'll be back. So long.
So long.
Hello, Mr. Lum. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye. Hey, where's he going in such a rush?
Oh, I don't know. That Cedric gets the craziest idea any one human I ever seen in my life. How'd you do over at Gus's, Lum? Is she going to help you talk Mousey into fighting?
Well, I ain't sure, but I think she's going to help us a whole lot.
She is, huh?
She's on our side now, and she's willing to have Mousey fight Iron Ike.
Well?
I think it was $1,000 that done it, though.
$1,000, huh?
I described all the things Mousey could buy her with the money and all.
Yeah.
Told her he could retire himself, wouldn't have to work as night watchman over at the mill no more, and spend a lot more time with her at home.
She fell for it, huh?
Fell for it. I wasn't telling her no stories. It's the truth.
Oh?
I told her how I'd take her and Mousey to New York for some big campaign fights as soon as he got through whipping Iron Ike and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, that still don't talk Mousey into fighting no longer.
Well, that's what Gussie's going to try to do. She's going to tell Mousey that she thinks maybe she admires Iron Ike a little, and the only way she can tell is to have him fight it out.
Fight it out?
Yeah, she's going to tell him that. And then she's going to sort of hint around that if Iron Ike wins the fight, she might even leave Mousey and go away with Ike.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that'll sure make old Mousey mad.
Oh, he'll be furious.
Yeah, he's liable to tear that whole carnival to pieces, you know.
Oh, it's a cinch now. And as I'm standing on the threshold of my greatest career, Abner.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I may become the world's richest boxing promoter. I don't know. There's money in that, you know.
Well, when is Gussie going to tell Mousey all this, Lon? You know, that carnival will be here soon.
Oh, well, don't worry. She's taking care of it right now.
She is, huh?
Yeah. The fact is, she's more than likely did it already. She was trying to phone him up when I left over there.
Phone him? Weren't he home sleeping like he always does in the daytime so he can do his night watching of the night?
No, she said he'd went down to the barber shop or someplace.
Oh.
I was looking at that almanac Grandpap's always reading. You know how much money they taken in at the Dempsey-Tooney fight? Over $2.5 million.
$2.5 million?
Yes, sir, according to the almanac.
For the land's sake. Well, who gets all that money?
Well, I ain't sure, but I know the manager gets quite a bit of it.
He does, huh?
He ought to get half of it anyway.
Half of it?
Yeah. $1 million. I'll send you some presents back from New York.
Send some back? Ain't I going to New York with you?
Well, I hadn't thought nothing about it.
Why, sure, I ought to go along.
Well, somebody's got to stay here and run the store and the library and everything.
Huh?
You can read all about what I'm doing in the sport pages of the newspaper.
Well, now, if you go to New York, I'm going too, Lum. Every time you get a big idea, I'm always the one that has to stay here and look at...
Wait a minute. There he comes.
Huh?
It's Mousey.
Oh.
Coming in the store.
Yeah, there he is.
Gussie must have talked him into it, all right.
You reckon he's sure enough mad this time?
Oh, he can't help being mad. After all that stuff Gussie told him.
No, he ought to be.
I hope he don't get mad at me.
Oh, no, he won't get mad at you.
Look at that cold steel look on his face. Like an iron mask.
Yeah, he must be.
If that wasn't Iron Ike's name, we could name him Iron Mousey or something.
Yeah. Mind that there he comes.
Well, hello, Mousey.
Hello, Lum. Abner.
How's everything today, Mousey?
Well, things are pretty bad, Lum. I just don't know what to say.
Well, good. I mean, that's too bad. What's your trouble?
Well, it's about my good friend Iron Ike.
Your good friend? Ain't you talked to Gussie?
Yes, sir. That's why I'm so mixed up. You see, Gussie sort of admires Iron Ike.
Yeah?
And so naturally, well, I admire him too. I respect her judgment.
Well, I'll be. Look, didn't she mention something about how she might go away with Ike?
Yes, she did, Lum. Well, if she'd rather go with him, why, that's what I want her to do. You see, I want Gussie to be happy.
For goodness sakes, Mousey. You mean that after all that, you still consider Ike your friend?
Yes, sir. That's what makes it so hard for me to fight him.
Fight him? Really, did you say fight him?
Yes, sir. I have to fight him, or else get thrown in jail. And I couldn't do that because that would be a disgrace to Gussie. Never shall Gussie's husband have the shadow of iron bars across his face.
What in the world are you talking about, Mousey?
Well, it says right here on this paper. I never would have signed this if I'd have known what it was. I thought it was an insurance policy, but, well, it's too late now. Or at least that's what my manager said.
Your manager? I never knowed you had one.
Well, I didn't either until I got to reading this contract I signed.
Let's see that thing.
Yes, sir. See if it doesn't say that I have to fight him, Lum.
Well, I'll be dead blamed.
What's the matter, Lum?
Dead blamed if he ain't went and signed a manager's contract with Squire Stem.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, little Mousey Gray, Pine Ridge's amazing contribution to the boxing world, has finally agreed to meet Iron Ike at the Carnival tomorrow night and attempt to win the $1,000 being offered to the man who can knock out Iron Ike. But the hitch is that Mousey is no longer Lum's fighter. Squire Skimp surprised everyone by signing Mousey up for himself. Today, as we look in on the little community, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store. Lum has just returned from the Squire's office. Listen.
$500?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what Squire said.
For the land's sake.
Said if I wanted to buy Mousey's contract and be his boxing manager, I'd have to pay $500 for it.
Why, that old skinflint. You didn't tell him you'd take it, did you, Lum?
Of course not. Can't afford no $500.
Why, no.
And that wouldn't make that much even if Mousey did win the fight from Iron Ike. Pays $1,000, but Mousey ought to get most of that.
Why, sure, he ought to, him doing the fighting and all.
No, sir, I just told Squire he could keep his old contract. I didn't want to do no business with a feller as underhanded as him, not at any price.
Good for you.
I told him he could consider our friendship as being unsolved. From now on, him and me would be unspeakable to one another.
That's the time.
Unless, of course, he'd come down on the price a little.
But he wouldn't do it, huh?
Not a penny, no. Said he really ought to ask more for the contract than that, considering the big future Mousey more than likely has as a box fighter.
Well, didn't you tell him that you ought to get to be Mousey's manager on account of you was the one that first discovered he could fight?
Oh, yeah, I told him all that. I said to him signing up Mousey's secret that way was no different from coming right here in the store and stealing some groceries from us. But even that didn't have no effect on him.
It didn't, huh?
No. He claimed he hadn't done nothing illegal. Said it was my own fault. I never signed him up myself or anybody else had a chance to do it. Imagine him saying a thing like that.
Well, now, he's sort of right on that, ain't he, Lum?
Yeah, but I hate to be reminded of it.
Oh.
Dad, blame it all anyway. Here I was on the path to fame and success as a big boxing promoter and manager. Even set up the other night sewing my name on the back of my bathrobe.
Bathrobe?
Yeah, you know, the one I was going to wear when I walked up to the boxing ring with Mousey.
Oh, yeah.
Had it almost all sewed, too. Jake Eddards.
Jake Eddards?
Oh, I guess I never told you. I sort of figured on changing my name to Jake.
Well,
I don't know. It sounded more like an actual boxing manager's name than Lum does.
It does, huh?
Yeah, but I'm going to have to take it off of there now, I reckon. Won't change my name at all.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. I wouldn't do that now. There might be some other way we can get that contract back from Squire.
I don't know how. Besides, it's too late to do anything now anyway. The carnival gets here tomorrow.
Yeah, but, well, maybe we could sneak over to Squire's place tonight after he went to bed, I dog it, and just steal it from him.
Steal it?
Yes, sir.
No, we can't do that. That's honest.
Yeah, I reckon that's right.
Don't want to get no lawsuit on our hands.
Oh, no, don't want to do that.
No, Abner, the Squire's got us licked. May as well admit to it.
Yeah, looks like it.
Mousey will fight Iron Ike tomorrow night and lick him, and Squire will get all the money, and then they'll more than likely head right out for New York, and I'll be sitting here in the jot-em-down store. Dad blame it. Wish I never had to hear to the fight game.
Game?
Yeah, that's what Squire calls it.
Well, how do you play it?
You don't play it.
You don't? Well, that don't sound like much fun. I like a game you can play, like Arthur's or Run, Sheepy Run or Mahjong.
Oh, I don't mean that kind of games. It just means whatever business a feller's in. Like Squire's in the insurance game. Caleb Weehunt's in the blacksmith game.
He is? Well, good for Caleb. I'm proud to hear that. He's getting awful cranky here late. Do him a lot of good to get out and have a game of some kind.
For goodness sake.
How do you play this blacksmith game, Lum? Is it something like horseshoes?
Horseshoes?
Yeah, that's more than likely what it is. I dog it, I'd like to go over and get in that game myself. Whereabouts are they playing, Lum? Who's playing against him?
Nobody ain't playing again him.
You mean old Caleb is standing over there throwing them horseshoes all by himself? Well, doggies, I know I'm going over there now. I won't be going long.
Abner, you come back here.
Well, now, Caleb's lonesome, Lum. Nobody else won't play with him. Doggies, I will.
Come back here, Abner. All I said was that Caleb was in the blacksmith game. That means he's in the blacksmith business.
Well, I know what business he's in. He's been running it for 40 years, and his papa run it before him. But that ain't no sign that Caleb can't get out and have a little fun once in a while,
Of course not, but if you just listen to me for a minute. Wait a minute. Look who's coming up out there.
Huh?
Well, I'll be dead blamed.
Who is it, Caleb?
No, it's the Squire. Granted, I just the same as told him I never wanted to see his ornery hide inside this door again as long as I live. I reckon what his little game is this time.
Game? Has Squire been over there pitching horseshoes with Caleb?
Of course not.
Well, don't tell me now he's playing alone, too. Doggies, why don't all these fellers get together on their games? It'd be a heap more fun that way.
For goodness sakes, Abner, nobody ain't playing nothing, so just forget it. And mind out, here he comes.
Yeah.
Give him the cold shoulder.
Huh?
Act awful cool towards him. Find out.
I'll act like I'm fresh to death.
Well, howdy, Squire.
Well, howdy do, gentlemen. And how are my good friends this afternoon?
Awful chilly in here today, ain't it?
Not that way, Abner.
Well, you don't want me to just come right out and tell him I'm acting cold towards him, do you?
Be quiet.
What's that, Abner?
Nothing, Squire, nothing.
Lum, I just dropped in to discuss further with you this manager's contract that I have with Mousey Gray.
Well, I don't think there's nothing further for me and you to discuss on that or any other subject.
Well, now, wait just a minute now, Lum, just a minute. You've got me all wrong. Lum, I've come to you with the extended hand of friendship.
You have, huh?
Yes, I certainly have. You see, Lum, I got to thinking about your part in discovering Mousey as a potential fighter, and, well, while I have every legal and moral right to the contract that I now possess, my great and deep friendship for you finally triumphed over my better business sense. And, well, to be honest, Lum, I'm going to let you practically steal that contract from me.
Steal it?
That's what I want to do, and he wouldn't let me.
Be quiet, Abner.
Yes, sir, Lum. It's yours for only $150. Now, what do you think of that?
Granny, I don't know what to think, hardly.
Well, make it $100 then, Lum. Anything you say, I want to do what's right. Now, here's the contract right here. It's all signed over to you, and everything is legal and regular. And if you don't have the money, Lum, I'll even be willing to take your check.
Well, that's awful thought of you.
Oh, I'm glad to do it, Lum. Anything for friends. You know that. Squire Skimp's friends come before anything else.
I don't know what to say, hardly.
Well, Lum, this is a chance of a lifetime. Yes, the fight's tomorrow night. You can buy the contract right now for $100.
Make out a check to Squire for $100, Abner, and I'll sign it.
Yeah. Where's the checkbook? I know where it's at.
Granny, Squire, I don't know what to say, hardly. You sure you ain't doing nothing now you wish you hadn't done?
Oh, cut, Lum. As I said before, your friendship means more to me than any $1 million that I might make out of Mousey's boxing career.
More than $1 million? Huh?
Yes, it does, Lum. You'll never know, though, how grieved I was after our little talk earlier today, Lum, some of the things you said.
Yeah, I reckon I oughtn't have said them, Squire. Sorry I done it.
Well, that's all right. Bygones are bygones, Lum.
I sure hope I get a chance to repay you in some way, Squire. I don't know just when it'll be, but I know that...
Here, Lum. It's all ready for you to sign
yeah.
here.
Yeah, all right. Dad blame it, I wish you wouldn't dip the pen so far in the ink, Abner. Look at that.
Well, you have to get a lot of ink on there to make it right, Lum. It'll be all right. It'll blot there on you, but you can just sort of use the blot for ink. Just string it out there to where you write what you want to. That's the way I done. See there, that big blot there?
There you are, Squire. And I want to thank you again for this.
Oh, cut. Think nothing of it. Only too glad to do it, Lum. Only too glad. Well, I guess I'd better be running along, gentlemen. And, Lum, I hope you have a lot of luck with Mousey.
Well, thank you, Squire. I'll let you know how everything goes. You going to be to the fight tomorrow night?
Oh, yes, Lum. Yes, I'll be there if I can possibly get there. Yes, I'd like to see that. Should be a good fight. Well, I better be going. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, Squire.
So long, Squire.
Granny's, Abner. Feel sort of ashamed of myself. after all I said about Squire.
Yeah, that's the trouble. A feller gets mad at somebody and gets to saying things and finds out they're all wrong.
Just goes to show you never can tell about a feller.
No.
We just had him down wrong. Misjudged him. That's what we done.
Yeah, must have. I heard him stand right there and tell you that your friendship meant more to him than $1 million.
Yeah, I heard him say that, too. Think of it, $1 million.
Yeah, reckon why he got so much friendship all of a sudden.
I don't know. But I got to get hold of Mousey and get him over here right away to do some training.
Yes, sir. That's the thing to do now. There ain't much time left for the big fight. That's tomorrow night. I bound you old Mousey be glad you're his manager again.
Hello? Who is this, Gussie? Well, this is Lum, Gussie, and I got to talk to Mousey right away.
Yeah, tell him to get on over here, Lum.
Huh? He's what? Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter, Lum?
Why, the dad-blame Squire scamp.
What's the trouble?
Mousey's sick in bed with the mumps.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, today is the day of the carnival, but Lum is pretty disinterested in it. He thought that this was the day his protege, Mousey, would knock out Iron Ike and win the $1,000 offered by the carnival. But Mousey is home in bed with the mumps. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store, library, and bakery. Listen.
Well, ain't you even going over to the carnival for just a little while, Lum?
No, I ain't going, Abner, so just quit talking about it. If you want to run over there, go ahead. I'll watch the store.
Well, Lum, we can just close the store up and both of us go. We won't do no business here no way. Everybody in town's at the carnival.
Abner, we can't close up the store every time a little carnival comes along, so just don't even mention it again. Granny's mumps.
Huh? What'd you say?
Nothing.
Sound like you said mumps. Is that what's wrong with you? Are you still mad about Mousey getting the mumps?
Well, who wouldn't be? Cheated me right out of getting the manager's share of that $1,000 Mousey would have won by knocking out Iron Ike.
Yeah, Lum, but that...
And it ruined my box promoting career before it even got started.
Well, Mousey never got the mumps on purpose, Lum.
No, I don't reckon he did, but I wouldn't be surprised if Squire Skimp never had something to do with it.
Was Mousey getting the mumps? Now, that's just plain silly.
I don't know. I wouldn't put nothing past that Squire Skimp. He might have carried a mump over and give it to him. I don't know.
Oh, Lum.
I orta expected something when he come in here all smiles and friendships the other day. Orta knowed there's something funny about him coming down to $100 on Mousey's contract.
Yeah, well, it's done did now, Lum. You might just as well go over to the carnival and have a good time and forget about it.
No, I ain't going over to the dad-blame
Wait a minute. There comes Cedric. I bound you that's where he's been.
Yeah. He always gets up in the middle of the night and goes over and helps them put up the tents and drive stakes and such as that every time a circus comes to town.
Yeah. You recollect the time they told him to carry some water to the elephants and he couldn't find the water buckets? Old Cedric tried to carry the elephants over to the pump.
Oh, for goodness sake. You never actually seen Cedric do that.
Well, no, but Grandpap said a feller told him that he seen Cedric trying to lift them.
You oughtn't to believe all that prittle-prattle Grandpap brings in here. Well, howdy, Cedric.
Yeah, hello, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner. Howdy, Mr. Lum. Boy, have I been having fun.
Well, you have, huh?
Yes, Mom. Ain't you fellers going over?
Well, I was sort of suggesting to Lum that we just close up the store.
Abner's going, but I ain't. I got too much work to do around here.
What work you got to do?
Well, I'll think of something.
You ought to go too, Mr. Lum. It's sure a lot of fun.
Kids, huh?
They got sideshows and animals and a thrill-a-minute caterpillar ride and a merry-go-round.
That's what I love.
Yes, Mom, me too. And you can win blankets and Cupid dolls and... Look what I got here.
Huh? Well, a whistle.
Yes, Mom, but it's a special kind of whistle. Imitates birds.
It does.
See, you blow on this end, and it's a meadowlark.
Well, I do know.
And then you blow on the other end, and you get the whippoorwill.
That sounds just like the meadowlark, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, it does, don't it?
It sure does.
I asked the feller about that, but he said it just sounded that way to humans.
Well.
Said the meadowlarks and the whippoorwills could tell the difference all right.
Who told you that, Cedric?
The feller I bought the cookies from.
Cookies?
Yeah, the whistle will come as a prize in this here little box of cookies.
Oh.
Here, you want to eat some of them?
Well, I don't mind if I do. You want some, Lum?
No, I ain't interested in no cookies.
Go on and help yourself, Mr. Lum. You fellers can have them all if you want them. They ain't no good. I never eat them myself, hardly.
You don't? Well, what'd you get them for then, Cedric?
On account of the surprise, of course.
Oh.
Just cost 25 cents, and look what I got.
Well.
Meadowlark.
Is that all it cost, just 25 cents?
What do you mean, is that all it costs? And you look at that thing. Whistle and cookies together ain't worth over 9 cents, abound you. You oughtn't to be buying stuff like that, Cedric. You ought to save your money.
Why not? Everybody else is buying them. And they're getting terrible, wonderful prizes, too. Boy.
Reckon they got any more left over there, Cedric?
Now, wait, Abner. You ain't going over and squander your money on a silly thing like that.
Huh?
Grannies, I just can't understand how folks will spend all their money when they think they'll get a prize of some kind. Wait a minute, though.
What's the matter, Lum?
Be quiet, I'm studying.
Oh, I wondered why you had your eyes squinted up that way.
Well, you can always tell I'm studying when I squint my eyes.
Yeah. What you studying about?
It's the way that feller's running for the legislator.
Yeah.
He done that.
Yeah, he looks just like you're looking right now, Lum.
I think we got something here, Abner.
Huh?
This thing here, that whistle, give me an idea. You recollect that idea me and Squire had for putting money in some of the loaves of bread we baked?
Oh, yeah, but Squire wanted to run that honest, old Lum.
Well, Squire ain't going to be in on this. We'll run it ourselves.
We will?
Why, sure, we don't need him to tell us what to do.
Good for us.
Grannies, I know it'll work, too.
Yeah.
If all them people over there will fall all over themselves buying boxes of cookies for a quarter to get little trinkets that ain't worth the money they paid, they ought to go crazy over bread with real actual money prizes in it.
Oh, yeah, Lord me, they'll just go wild about that.
Whippoorwill.
I bound you we won't be able to bake up enough bread to keep 'em in it, you know.
Meadowlark.
When we going to start, Lum?
Right away. Right while everybody's in the spirit of buying prizes and stuff.
Yeah, that's the time.
I'll start mixing the dough for the bread, and you can get a fire going in the stove right now.
I doggy, this is going to be fun. You know, Cedric, would you get some wood for me?
No, there's already some wood in the stove. Never mind, Cedric.
Uh-huh.
Just take some paper and get it lit there, Abner.
Yeah, let's see. Where's some old newspaper now?
Oh. Here, use this.
Huh? Yeah, give it here. Well, wait a minute. This is your manager's contract with Mousey, Lum.
Oh, I know it. Well, it ain't no good no way. I wish I'd never seen the dad blame thing. Go ahead and use it.
Well, all right. Seems a shame to burn up something you paid $100 for, though.
Meadowlark.
Stop blowing that thing, Cedric. It gets on my nerve.
Whippoorwill. Or wait a minute. It's supposed to be the meadowlark.
Huh?
Well, do you know where I could find me a live meadowlark?
Live meadowlark?
Yes, Mom. I'd like to just have him listen to it and see if he could tell the difference in them whistles.
Oh, of course he couldn't.
Where's the east, Abner?
Huh?
Whereabouts is the east?
Oh. You see, I seen it around here someplace, Lum.
Never mind. I found it. Here it is.
Oh, yeah, that's where I knowed it was at. You want me to help you mix up the dough, Lum?
Whippoorwill.
Cedric, are you going to stop blowing that dad blame thing?
Wished I was a whippoorwill so's I could tell the difference in these bird calls. They're getting to sound more alike all the time to me. Just listen now. Meadowlark. Whippoorwill.
Cedric, why don't you go on back over to the carnival? What did you come over here in the first place for?
Mom, let's see. What did I come over here for?
Well, you ought to go back over there where you can enjoy yourself, Cedric.
Well, I come over here for something. Maybe I better go back over there and study.
Huh?
See if I can figure out what I come over here for. Oh, I know now. Recollect, yeah. I come over to tell Mr. Lum something about Mousey.
About Mousey?
Did you say Mousey? Yes, Mom, but I don't recollect now what it was.
For the land's sake,
Oh, I know.
Cedric.
He said on account of some contract, said he had to fight Iron Ike or get thrown in jail, and that'd be a disgrace to Miss Gussie, he said. Well, he don't need to feel that way. No contract can make a feller fight when he's got the mumps.
Of course not.
Besides, the contract's burned up anyway. Well, I reckon he never knowed that, though, 'cause he got out of bed and went over and fought Iron Ike anyway. Fought him? Oh, my goodness. Abner, get that...
No, too late, Lum. It's done burned to a crisp.
Oh, my goodness. There goes my manager's share of that $1,000, for goodness sake.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. You don't have to have a contract to be a feller's manager. That was just Squire Skimside he weren't.
Granny's, maybe you're right, Abner.
Why, sure. Besides, nobody but us knows it's burned up no way.
Why, sure. Cedric, have you got your car here?
Why don't you just call up over there? They got a phone hooked up out there.
They have?
Yes, Mom, I seen them talking on it.
Well, that's a thing to
Let
do.
me get to that telephone.
Yeah, that's a time, Lum.
Cedric, don't you say nothing to Squire about us burning that contract.
No, Mom, I won't.
Hello, Mamie? Would you hook me up to the Carnival? Connect me up with them, please? Right away, please.
That dogged old Mousey sure got a nerve, you know it. Getting out of a sick bed to go over and fight a fella.
Hello, is this the Carnival? Well, this is Lum Edwards, Mousey's manager. Mousey. Mousey Gray, the feller that just fought Iron Ike.
Dynamite killer, I think they call it.
Yeah, well, of course I'm sure I'm his manager. $10 what? Entry fee. What for? Oh, well, sure I'll pay that. Just send the bill over to Lum Edwards. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Yeah, Granny, that ought to prove I'm Mousey's manager anyway, paying that entry fee for him.
You mean you're going to pay $10 more, Lum? You already put out $100 for the contract.
Well, don't worry about that. My share of the winnings will cover that.
Well, huh?
How long did it take to knock him out, Cedric?
Just one blow done it.
Granny, just one blow. Did you hear that, Abner?
Yeah.
It's just one blow, and there was Mousey out cold as an icicle.
Mousey?
Yes, Mom. Meadowlark. Whippoorwill. Meadowlark.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, with Mousey Gray's inglorious defeat at the hands of Iron Ike in the Carnival boxing match, Lum decided to give up his career as a fight manager and check off the money he spent to experience. He and Abner are now concentrating on their new merchandising plan to promote the bakery. They have baked a silver dollar into one out of every 25 loaves of bread. And today, as we look in on the little community, we find the old fellows getting ready for a big day in their Jotham store and bakery. Listen.
Here you are. Now, how's that for an impressive sign, Abner?
Huh? Oh, you got it done already. Let's see it.
Watch out, don't get too close. The paint ain't dry yet.
Win a prize today. Buy Lucky Loaf bread. Just 10 cents a loaf. Hey, Doggy, that's a good sign, Lum.
Yeah, that ought to get us 1,000 or 100 customers.
Yeah.
Might have to enlarge the store before the week's out. I don't know.
Lucky Loaves. Is that what we're calling the bread with the money in it?
Yeah, I studied that up this morning.
Well?
Hadn't no more than got my eyes all squinted up for a good long spell of thinking when the idea come to me, quick as a flash.
By doggy, that sounds good, you know it. Lucky loaves. Oh, how many loaves did you get baked up this morning, Lum?
Oh, about 150, I reckon.
150?
Yeah, that's a whole room full back there. And there's a silver dollar in one out of every 25 loaves. Wait a minute, wasn't that our ring?
I don't know. I never paid no attention.
Go ahead and answer that.
Yeah. Hello. Jot 'em down store, library, and Pine Ridge Bakery talking.
Might change that to Lucky Loaf Bakery, I don't know.
Yes, Miss Monroe.
Dollar bread, that wouldn't be bad.
That's right, a silver dollar baked right into the bread. Oh, well, no, not in every loaf.
Oh, of course not. For goodness sake, couldn't afford that.
Just 10 cents. All right, 5 loaves. All right, Miss Monroe, we'll deliver 'em this afternoon. All right. Goodbye.
Did she sure enough say 5 loaves, Abner?
Why, sure.
Granny. Now I know we'll make a success out of this. Neither Miss Monroe or Tom, either one, ever ate bread, and here they are buying 5 loaves at a time.
Sure.
I'm afraid we ain't going to be able to keep up with our orders. That's going to be our trouble.
Yeah, maybe you oughtn't to put that sign up, Lum, so folk will just sort of forget about... Wait a minute. Who's that? Oh, that's Cedric coming there.
For goodness sake, I hope he ain't brung along that bird whistle he won as a prize at the Carnival the other day. I'm sick and tired of hearing him blow that thing.
Well, he's more than likely got it with him. He's even going out in the woods now and blows it at the birds.
Well, I don't mind that so much. I wish he'd stay out there and blow it.
Yeah.
Him sitting there in the choir at church and blowing that whistle during the organ solos, though, that's going too far.
Yeah, mind out. Here he comes. Well, morning, Cedric.
Morning, Mr. Abner. Mr. Lum.
Cedric, we'd rather you didn't blow that whistle in the store.
Yeah, we have to keep it quiet in here on account of the library, you know, Cedric. Well, I won't blow it, Mr. Lum. I just come down here to meet old, what's his name? We're going out in the woods and whistle at the birds. He's got himself a bird whistle, too.
He has, huh?
Yes, Mom. You want to hear how much I've improved with mine?
No, we don't, Cedric.
Yeah, run along and meet your friend, Cedric. We got a lot of bakery work to do today. Well, I sure have improved. You recollect how the meadowlark and the whippoorwill both sounded just like the meadowlark?
I never will forget it.
Well, now I've got it to where it's a lot better.
Well?
Now I can do it so as the meadowlark and the whippoorwill both sound like the whippoorwill. Just listen here.
Cedric, now just take that thing and get out of here.
Yeah, Cedric, you'll have to leave. That's all there are to it. We're awful busy today.
Yes, we are.
That was the meadowlark, I think. Now, here's the whippoorwill.
Cedric, now go on home, or out in the woods, or wherever you're going. You can show us the whistle some other time. Go on now.
All right. I'll come back when you ain't so busy.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Well, I sure have improved.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Goodbye. His next thing we know, he'll be trying to grow himself some feathers and sit around in a nest up my tree. That boy.
Granny, when Cedric gets himself interested in something, there ain't no one thing that'll get him off the subject.
Oh, no.
I'd sort of planned to give him a steady job delivering these lucky loaves, but I could see there weren't no use even suggesting it.
Oh, no. He wouldn't even hear you.
Yeah. We're going to need a steady deliver man, though, Abner. I can see that. Well, come on, let's get this sign nailed up out in front. Paint's just about dry now.
Yeah, it ought to be. Just a minute, I'll make sure. Uh-oh. Oh, no, not quite dry yet,
For
Lum.
goodness sake, now you got it all smeared. Keep your hands off of that. Wait a minute, let me get the phone.
Well, I just want to see if it's dry.
Hello, jot 'em down store in Pine Ridge Bakery. Lucky Loaf Eddard's talking.
Lucky Loaf Eddard.
Mom? Why, sure. You've got as good a chance to get a loaf with $1 in it as anybody else.
His name every time we change bid.
Oh, no, Mom. We can't guarantee you'll get a lucky loaf, but the bread's worth a dime anyway. How many? All right, Miss Blevins. Well, we'll get it over there this afternoon. All right, thank you, Mom. Goodbye. Granny, did you hear that, Abner? Imagine a penny pincher like Miss Blevins buying 3 loaves of bread at one time.
Oh, they're all going to be buying more bread than they need just so they'll have a better chance of getting one with $1 in it.
Oh, we're going to be millionaires before you know it. Or thousandaires anyway.
Yes, sir. Now, if you'll just stick with this, Lum, and tend to business instead of getting off on something else like you generally do, why, we're going to make some money out of this, you know.
I ain't going to get off on nothing else. I've been fooling around trying to find out what I was suited for. Grannies, I found out one thing. I'm a natural-born bakery man. I can tell that. The bakery business is in my blood.
Well, I'm proud to hear you say it. Huh?
Grannies, I hope he don't come over here.
Who?
Mousey Gray across the street yonder.
Oh, well, I'll be dogged. I'm even surprised to see him up. Having a month and being knocked out by that fellow over at the Carnival, why, I allowed that to lay him up in bed for a while.
Yeah, Well, he had no business fighting a feller like Iron Ike anyway.
Well, you was the one that talked him into it, Lum. Just trying to win that $1,000 that they's offering to anybody that could knock Iron Ike out.
That's right, I was, wasn't I?
Why, sure you did. You brung it on him yourself.
Well, he ought to had more sense than to listen to me. He ain't no fighter.
Well, he knocked you out.
Well, anybody could... lucky punch is all that was. Uh-oh. And if he's heading over this way, dad blame it.
Well, now, why don't you just tell him, Lum, if you don't want to have nothing more to do with the box fighting business, that we're in the bakery business here, and you're going to stick with it.
I'm going to. Kind of glad he's coming over now, so I can tell him.
Why, sure, get it over with, and then we'll take these lucky loaves and make a fortune out of them.
Done cost me $110, that box fighting business. That's enough for me.
110?
Well, sure. I bought his manager's contract for $100 from Squire Skimp, and then I paid $10 entrance fee when he fit Iron Ike.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Look at him strut. Morning, Mousey. Come on in.
Morning, Lum. Abner.
How are you today, Mousey?
Oh, I feel fine, except I'm mad.
Mad? You ought to be happy now that you're over the mumps.
Well, I didn't have the mumps after all, Lum. I found out it was just a bad wisdom tooth that was bothering me.
Well, what are you mad about then?
That Iron Ike person. He took unfair advantage of me in that fight, and it just makes me boil.
Taking unfair advantage of you?
Yes, sir. He hit me first.
Well, natural. He's going to hit you first if he can. You got to expect that in a box fight. That ain't cheating.
Yes, sir, but I didn't know that. Nobody told me. You know, I believe they deliberately kept that from me. Oh, I never was in such a rage in my life.
Well, it's all over now. I'd just forget about it if I was you, Mousey.
No, it isn't all over either. I'm going to hit him first the next time.
The next time?
Yes, sir. I found out that carnival is going to be over at Cherry Hill the end of this week, and I've already challenged Iron Ike. That is, if it's all right with you, Lum. I know, of course, if you have my manager's contract with me, and anything you say I will do.
Well, Mousey, that manager's business, I'll give that up. I'm going to be honest with you, Mousey. You ain't got no business trying to make a prize fighter out of yourself. Little feller like you ain't got a chance against the professionals. You're going to fool around here and get yourself hurt.
No, I'm determined to get your money back for you, Lum, every cent that you put out.
Well, now, don't you worry about that. That was my own fault. Let's be sensible about this, Mousey. That Iron Ike's a big, tough professional fighter. You ain't no match for him.
Oh, I just feel sure that I can knock him out.
Oh, Mousey, you better give up that idea.
No, sir, I'm going to fight him, Lum. And if you don't want to be my manager anymore, why, that's all right, but I'm determined to fight him. I heard the carnival went to Odin when it left here, so I went over there yesterday and went up to the hotel where some of the carnival people were staying, and I did it.
Did it? What do you mean?
I just walked right up to that Iron Ike and told him that I didn't appreciate him hitting me first the other day, so I just knocked him out, too, just to see if I could. And then I told the fellow that runs the carnival that I'd be at Cherry Hill Friday and do it again.
You mean you knocked out Iron Ike?
Yes, sir.
Well, I do know. Well, you dead blame right we'll be there. With me managing you, Mousey, you're a cinch to whip him.
Well, wait a minute, Lum. What about the bakery business?
The prize fighting business is in my blood.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum swore off having anything more to do with the boxing business and promised Abner that he'd concentrate on building up the bakery with their new Lucky Loaf bread. But something happened. He found out that Mousey had knocked out Iron Ike one morning just for practice and had challenged him to a return match when the Carnival plays Cherry Hill. So, once again, Lum is a fight manager. And today, as we look in on the little community, we find Abner running the Jot 'em Down store all alone. Grandpappy Spears has dropped in for a visit. Abner's on the phone. Listen.
Well, I'm sorry, but we can't deliver no Lucky Loaf bread today. No, Mom, not even one loaf. Well, I can't say when we'll have some, but as soon as we do, I'll be proud to let you know. All right. Goodbye. Dad blame it all anyway.
Yeah, what's the trouble, Abner?
Oh, that dad blame Lum. Here we're getting 100 million calls for Lucky Loaf bread, and Lum won't stay in the store long enough to do the baking.
Well, what's the matter with him anyway?
Why, he thinks he has to be out training Mousey for his boxing fight with Iron Ike.
Well, I thought they'd already had that fight.
Well, they did have that one, but they're going to fight again over at Cherry Hill. That's where the carnival's going to be this week.
Well, I'll be darned. Why, a feller wants to get whipped twice is beyond me.
Well, Mousey thinks he ain't going to get whipped this time. See, he got so mad about the first fight that the other morning he went over to some place where Iron Ike was staying and knocked him out with just one lick, just to see if he could do it.
Mousey done that?
Yeah. So now Lum's got himself all steamed up about being a boxing manager again, and he's clean forgot about the big bakery idea with the Lucky Loaves.
One too good.
Right when it was getting started, something wonderful, too.
Oh, yeah, them Lucky Loaves is a sensation. Everybody's talking about them.
Sure.
All trying to get them silver dollars you fellers put in the bread. The widow Abernathy got one of the silver dollars, she told me.
She did?
Yeah, I was proud she done it.
Dad, blame it, I wish that Lum would stick to one thing once in his life, instead of getting off on these big ideas. Look at all these orders for bread, not a loaf in the place. You don't know how to make light bread, do you, Grandpa?
Oh, no, I don't, Abner. I'd be proud to look it up for you in some of these books you got in the library, though. I ain't done much looking up lately. Sort of like to get back in the Horners. I'll see what I can find over here.
Well, never mind, Grandpa. There's Lum coming now. Maybe he'll light long enough to do the baking.
Hey, here's a book I tell about cooking for Ms. Wiggs of the Cabbage Patch.
Don't bother with it, Grandpap. I'll get Lum to do it.
Here's an interesting-looking book on how to give entertaining parties.
Uh-huh. Well, howdy, Lum. About time you was getting back.
Yeah, well, this training stuff takes a heap more time than I figured it would. I don't know whether I can get Mousey in shape for that fight or not. Well, howdy, Grandpap.
Huh? Don't bother with Grandpap. He's reading again.
Twirl a Platter is an interesting game for kiddies or grown-ups. One member is selected as a twirler, and then the twirler...
We don't want to know how to play Twirl a Platter, Grandpap. Just read yourself. Oh. You all through with the training for today, Lum?
Oh, my, no. Just getting started. As soon as Mousey gets rested up, he's coming over here for some shatter boxes.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. When are you going to bake the bread for today? The Lucky Loaves?
I ain't got time for that today, Abner.
Well, we got 100,000 orders, Lum. Everybody's calling up for Lucky Loaves. We ain't even got any left over from yesterday.
Well, go ahead and bake some up then.
Well, you know I can't do that, Lum. I don't know nothing about baking.
Well, it's time you was learning how then. And there ain't nothing to it. Just mix up the flour and yeast and stuff. You ought to do it anyway. You're a half partner in the bakery, ain't you?
Well, yeah, and so are you. You ain't doing nothing. I've been making the delivers and everything else. Now, you got to do the baking.
Oh, well, that's woman's work. I'm a boxing manager, and I got troubles of my own now.
Troubles?
Yeah, that dad-blame Mousey won't ever get no training done. He keeps falling asleep.
Well, no wonder, Lum. He's up all night long at the mill night watching. You can't expect him to stay up during the day, too.
Well, that's what I've been telling him. If he wants to be a big fighter, he's got to quit that night watching job. But he won't do it. He thinks that job is a wonderful thing. He says that mill's like a mother to him.
A mother?
That's what he said. Granted, I got to study up some way to get him to quit. That's all there are to it. You know what happened this morning? I had him lifting a couple of 100-pound weights, and he went to sleep right while he had them up over his head, right up in the air. Dropped them on his foot.
Oh, my goodness. Did it hurt him?
Of course it hurt him. Made him limp something awful.
Well, I don't doubt it.
He even had to give up running after about 5 miles. Fact is, he couldn't hardly keep up with me.
With you? Was you out there running that far?
Why, sure. Or, that is, I weren't exactly running. I was on a horse at the time.
Oh.
But that foot sure enough
slowed Mousey down. Of course, he kept falling asleep while he was running, too. That had something to do with it. And I wished he'd hurry up and get here. We ain't got much time to get him in condition before the big fight.
Yeah, we ain't got much time to get the lucky loaves baked up for today, neither. Now, you going to get 'em ready or not, Lum?
Abner, I told you I ain't got time for that. You figure out a way to do it yourself.
Well, now, I ain't going to do all the work around here. Every time you get off on one of your fancy new ideas, why, you shove all the old work off onto me. I'm tired of it. I ought to at least get more than half the profits or something if I'm going to do that.
Well, you can have all the profits if that'll make you happy. You can have the bakery and the store and everything. I don't care. Just don't bother me. Wait a minute. There's Mousey at last. Granny's look at him, walking along with his eyes closed.
Why, sure, poor fella. He's sleepy.
He expects to do any shatter boxing. He's got to wake up enough to see his shatter so he can box at it.
I don't care if he never wakes up.
Now, don't talk that way about him, Abner. He's going to make a fortune for me. Or at least $1,000 whenever he whips Iron Ike.
Prattle.
Well, come in, Mousey, old boy. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm so sleepy I can't hardly tell. I just can't hardly.
Yeah, well, look, Mousey, we just got to settle one thing before we can go any further with this training.
What do you mean, Lum?
You've just got to quit your job over at the mill.
Oh, I couldn't do that, Lum. Why, that old mill is just like a mother to me.
Mousey, you got to do it, though. You got to devote your full time to this. Look at me. I'm only your manager, but I'm giving all my time to your training.
Well, yes, but you still have the store and everything, Lum. Gussie and me, why, we have to live on what I make at the mill.
Well, you'll make a heap more out of this box fight and stuff. You mark my word.
Yes, sir, but what if I don't?
Well, them's the chances you got to take. You want to get rich and famous, make a success out of yourself, you got to take chances.
Yes, sir.
That's an old Eddard saying of mine. Them that don't take chances don't, something or other, take no chances, I believe it is.
Well, if I had another business like you have, Lum, to fall back on, why, I'd do it in a minute.
Why, sure, that don't sound just right, Lum, asking Mousey to give up his job over there.
All right, Grannies, wait a minute. Show you how much I think of your chances of making a success out of yourself as a box fighter. I'll give up the store and bakery and everything else. Take everything on you. Swim or sink with you. What I'll do.
Now, Lum, you don't want to...
Yes, I do, too. You've been complaining about me running off and leaving you with all the work to do. Maybe it ain't fair. I'll just give you my interest in the store and bakery both, Abner. I'll string along with Mousey.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that, Lum.
Yes, sir. Now, I've got my mind made up. Hand me that piece of paper there, Abner.
You better think this over, Lum.
I don't want to think it over.
Here.
Yeah. Let's see, to who it may concern.
Yeah.
I, Lum Eddards, partner of the first party,
It's scribbling.
do hereby turn over to Abner Peabody. Sounds legal, don't it?
Yeah, I reckon so.
All my interest in the Jot 'em Down store and Pine Ridge Bakery, making him sole owner. Signed, Lum Eddards. There. How's that, Mousey?
Let me see, Lum.
Here, take it. It's yours.
Well, if you have that much confidence in me, Lum, why, I'll do my part. I'll quit my job at the mill.
Well, good for you. Doggies, put her there. It's a deal.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll go over and break the news to Mother, or to tell Mr. Bates that I'm quitting.
That's the time. Tell him you're through. We ain't got time for no outside businesses. We're going to make a fortune out of your fighting.
Yes, sir, that's just what I'll tell him.
Then you better go home and get some sleep, and we'll start training again tomorrow when you get rested up good.
All right, sir, I'll see you in the morning then, Lum.
Yeah, come over early. We'll put in the whole day shatterboxing and such as that, if the sun's out. So long.
So long.
Granny's, it worked, Abner. I hated to tell him I was giving up the store and bakery, but I seen that was the only thing to do. I can tell him later it was just a joke.
Joe.
Yeah, it was the only way I could get him to quit. Well, here, I better get over to the place.
The place?
Yeah, I'm going to fix up the parlor over there into a gymnasium. Move all their furniture out there so he can practice. I'll see you sometime tomorrow, Abner.
All right. You ain't coming back today at all, huh?
No, I expect I'll be too busy, Abner. So long.
So long. Doggy, that settles it, Grandpap.
Huh?
I've got a paper here that Lum just now signed, giving me all his interest in the store and the bakery.
Giving it to you?
Yes, sir. He thinks it's a joke, but I'm going to learn him a lesson. That Mousey'd better turn out to be a good box fighter, I'll tell him that. That Lum's going to be around running around here. It's nothing to do.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum finally persuaded Mousey to quit his night watchman's job so that he could devote all of his time to training for his fight tomorrow with Iron Ike. But to do it, Lum had to sign a paper giving Abner full ownership of the store and bakery. Lum considers the paper worthless, but Abner has decided to hold him to it for a few days and teach Lum a lesson. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store, and Grandpappy Spears has just entered. Listen.
Well, morning, Grandpa.
Yeah, morning, Abner. Morning.
Come on in. How are you today?
Oh, just only tolerably. Whereabouts is Lum? Have you taken him back in the store yet?
Oh, why, of course I ain't. Fact says he don't even know he's out of it yet.
He don't?
No, he still thinks that paper he read out, giving me the store and bakery, is just a joke.
Well, ain't you told him you're going to hold him to it?
Well, I ain't had a chance. He spends all his time training that Mousey for the fight with Iron Ike at the Carnival.
Well, you ain't teaching Lum much of a lesson if he don't know he's actually lost his half of the business here.
Well, don't worry. He's going to find out about it. And believe me, I'm going to make old Lum appreciate this store before I let him back in, too.
That's your time, Abner.
I'm telling you, Grandpap, I've just got myself to where I'm plumb sick and disgusted with all these big ideas that Lum gets himself mixed up in.
Oh, he's a big-ideas feller, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, whereabouts is that book I was reading in here yesterday, Abner?
Well, over in the library somewhere, I reckon. You can find it over there.
All right. Hey, wait a minute. You can't do this, Abner.
Huh?
You got the library table all piled up with bread here.
Oh, well, I got to put it someplace, Grandpap. I used up every place else.
Well, get it off. Get it off. I got to have a place to read.
Well, I can't, Grandpap. Ain't no other place to put the bread.
Now, listen, Abner. Your sign says this is a free public library, and I demand my rights. I want this table cleaned off.
All right. Just put the bread on the floor, then.
Yeah, that's better.
Dogged, I wish we'd never put in that bad blame library.
Well, now, did you get all this bread? Have you catched on how to make it already?
Oh, no, I never baked none of it. Elizabeth done it.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, I got her and little Pearl over at the place just baking bread fast they can. You ought to see them.
Well, I do know.
And I got Cedric out doing the delivering. Dogged, even with that truck, he can't hardly keep up. The orders is coming in so fast.
Well, I'll be dogged.
Oh, this lucky loaf is going like a house afire.
Well, I knowed it was good, but I never thought it was this good.
Well, it's on account of the changes I made in the idea, I believe.
Changes?
Yeah.
You mean you ain't baking money into the lucky loaves no more?
No, that's the whole idea of it. See, I just done it a little different than Lum's been doing it, that's all.
Oh.
Just made it a little better. So that shows right there I don't need that Lum around here.
Of course not. I've always said that.
I might turn out to be a better business feller than he is, you know it?
Yeah, you might. Here's the book I was reading.
Oh.
Let's see, where was I at? Yeah, here we are.
I've got to get this bread here wrapped up. That's what I better be doing.
In playing the mandolin, the instrument is held so that the fingers of the left hand may produce the various tones by stopping the
What
string.
in the world is that book you're reading, Grandpap?
Well, it's called, let's see the cover here. Musical Instruments Self-Taught.
Oh.
Awful interested.
Well.
Various tones by stopping the strings at the frets, as in playing the...
Well, I never knowed you had a mandolin, Grandpap.
Well, I ain't.
Well, what you reading that for, then?
Well, you never can tell when somebody might give you a mandolin.
Oh,
Might inherit one or something.
yeah.
I'd want to know how to play it before ever I got one. Otherwise, there ain't no sense to getting it.
No, I reckon he ain't. Never had thought about it just that way, but I reckon you're right. Does it tell in there how to play the clarinet? I've always Wait a minute, there comes old Lum.
The body of the mandolin is held on the lap or against the right side of the body so that the
Grandpap, don't say nothing to Lum about Elizabeth baking that bread. I want him to think I done it. Don't want him to get the idea I need him around here.
So that the player may do the playing with the right hand.
You won't tell him, will you?
Tell him what, Abner?
What? What did I just say to you?
I don't know. The neck of the instrument should lie in
Well, howdy, Lum.
Well, howdy, Abner.
Well, hello there, Grandpap.
Supported by the thumb. Oh, hello, Lum. And slightly balanced by the forefinger.
Hush up, Grandpap. Don't read that out loud, please.
What in the world is he doing?
He's learning to play the mandolin.
Mandolin?
Yeah.
I don't see no mandolin.
Well, see, he wants to see if he can play it first before he bothers to get one. How's Mousey coming with his training?
Oh, he's doing something wonderful now, Abner.
He is, huh?
Yeah, all the difference in the world since he quit that night watching job over at the mill. He's getting some sleep now.
Well, I'm proud to hear it.
Oh, yeah, he's a champion, that Mousey. That's all there are to it. You ought to seen him work out this morning at the gymnasium.
Gymnasium?
Yeah, I got my place all fixed up like one now, you know.
Oh.
Hung a sort of a punching bag from the chandeliers, and finally Mousey got to punching that thing so hard he knocked the bag and chandeliers both right off the ceiling.
He did?
Oh, he stouted a white oak stump.
Well?
Just ruined him, but of course I don't care. I won't be living there no more after Mousey wins the fight.
Huh?
More than likely be moving to New York.
Oh. Well, are you sure he's going to win, Lum?
Oh, it's a cinch, a mortal cinch.
He is, huh?
You ought to see what good condition that Mousey's getting himself in. Can't hardly hold him.
Well?
Got him out doing road work right now.
Road work?
Yeah.
Well, whereabouts?
Out there west of town, along the highway there.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. That road should sure enough stand some work on it, especially where that culvert's out.
Culvert?
Yeah, but it don't seem just right, Lum. Here you take Mousey and make him quit his job over at the mill, and you turn right around and get him a job working on the road.
I never got him no job.
Not did he get it for himself?
Of course not.
Well, somebody must have got it for him, Lum. Does that pay him better than his night watching job at the mill?
It don't pay him nothing.
It don't? Well, that don't sound like much of a job. I believe he could make more shining shoes over at Moe's Moots's barber shop. Moe's looking for a boy.
Well, he ain't out for no kind of a job. Road work is just a training expression, Abner. Us boxing fellers knows what it means.
Oh.
It means... Wait a minute, for goodness sakes. Where did you get all this bread?
Baked it, I think.
You did?
Why, sure.
All by yourself?
Oh, there ain't nothing to it. Just mix up the stuff and there it is.
Well, good for you, Abner. Granny, now we can keep that lucky loaf idea of mine going. How's it been selling today?
More orders than we ever had before.
Well, good.
Or more than I ever had, I mean.
Well, I do know. Grannies, I believe that's the greatest one idea I ever had in my life. That's our ring. More likely some orders right there. I'll get it.
No, I'll get it now. I'll handle this. Hello, Jotham Down Store and Bakery. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Mr. Who? Putnam. Oh, over there at Odin. Yes, sir.
Granny, calling clean from Odin.
Yes, sir. Lucky loaves. Uh-huh. That's right. 300 loaves?
300.
Yes,
Abner,
sir.
I better handle this.
Keep
Abner.
away from me, Lum. Yes, sir, Mr. Putman. We'll get 'em ready for you as soon as we can. All right. Goodbye, Mr. Putnam.
Granny, 300 loaves. Abner, we're going to make a fortune out of this.
What do you mean, we? This is my store.
Your store?
Why, sure. Don't you recollect you signed a paper the other day giving me ownership of everything here?
For goodness sake. Well, sure, I signed that, but that was just a joke. I just done that to get Mousey to quit his night watching job.
I don't care why you done it, Lum. The point is you done it. All right, doggies, I'm going to hold you to it.
You mean you think you're going to hornswoggle me out of my part of the store and bakery?
I never hornswoggled you. You done it yourself. I've got the paper that you wrote out yourself giving it to me.
Yeah, but I just give you that so... Oh, you're just trying to josh me. I see now. Get you on. Granny, that would be a gooder known me, wouldn't it?
Lum, I ain't joshing you. This is my store and my bakery. Now, you're plumb out of it now.
Wait a minute. Are you serious about this?
Of course I am. You give up the store and the bakery business for a prize fighter, so you can just depend on Mousey for a living.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. Well, you won't get away with it, I'll tell you that. I'll lawsuit you to the Supreme Court first.
Lawsuit, I don't care. I've got a signed paper from you.
You ain't heard the last of this, Mr. Peabody.
Ah.
Granny's, I'm coming back here and run you out of business if it's the last thing I ever do. If I can't do it no other way, I'll put in a big apartment store right across the street. And bakery. I'll show you, dead blame thief.
Yeah. Oh, is he mad? Mad enough to bite. It's working, Grandpap.
Huh?
Didn't you see how mad old Lum got?
No, I was reading here. What'd he do?
He stomped out of here mad as a wet setting hand. He thought I couldn't get along without him around here. That feller footman from over at Odin called up and ordered 300 loaves of bread right while Lum was standing here.
300 loaves?
Yes, sir.
Well, what are you doing, cutting the price on bread?
No, I'm still getting 10 cents a loaf for it. That's what I'm getting. Yes, sir. 10
Well, you're
cents.
sure doing the business, doing twice as much as you done when Lum was handling it.
Yeah, I know it. I believe it's this little change I'm making in the Lucky Loaf is what's doing it, though. See, Lum was putting $1 in one out of every 25 loaves of bread. I'm putting 25 cents in every loaf. I doggies, they're going for it, too.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, tonight is Mousey's return boxing match with Iron Ike at the Carnival in Cherry Hill. A lot depends on this fight because Lum's sole job now is managing Mousey. He signed over his share of the store and bakery to Abner as a means of getting Mousey to quit his mill job and to spend more time training. And then Abner decided to hold Lum to this document, at least long enough to teach him a lesson. As we look in on the little community tonight, we find Abner and Grandpappy Spears in the Jot 'em Down store, waiting for a word of the fight. Listen.
Well, sit down, Abner, and stop staring out the front window. Cedric will get here when he gets here and not no quicker.
I know it, but I wish he'd hurry up, Grandpap. That fight ought to be over by now, and Cherry Hill ain't so far from here.
Maybe Cedric forgot he's supposed to stop over here as soon as he got back to town. Maybe he went right straight home.
No, sir, he promised he'd come here the first thing and tell me who win the fight. Doggies, I wished he'd hurry.
Well, stop pacing backwards and forwards there. You're making me nervous. I don't see why you're so interested in this fight for anyways. It's Lum's doings, and him and you ain't partners no more.
Well, I know, but Lum has put so much dependence in the Mousey whipping Iron Ike that he's going to be terrible disappointed feller if Mousey loses. And that'd be the end of his boxing manager's career right there.
Well, that's what you want, ain't it?
Huh?
Then he'll come crawling back and try to get back his half of the store and bakery.
Well, yeah, that's right, Granddad.
That's the only way you can ever learn him a lesson, Abner, and make him understand that he ought to stick to the store business and not get off on all these other ideas he gets. Wild goose chases, one thing and another.
Yeah, but, well, I don't know. I just sort of hate to see it work out that way for old Lum. He's got his heart set on being a boxing manager, and, well, to be honest, I don't think Mousey's going to win.
Pish-posh. He done it once, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but that was just because he hit Iron Ike the first blow and caught him off guard. The first time they fit, why, Iron Ike hit him the first blow, and Mousey was out like a light.
Well, it sounds like whoever gets in the first blow wins the fight then.
That's exactly it. Whoever gets the first blow, that's what counts.
Yeah, well, there ain't nothing we can do about it till Cedric gets back, so just sit down. Let me concentrate on my reading here.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
5 more pages, and I'll have the cornet all mastered.
Cornet? I thought you was learning the mandolin.
Oh, that was yesterday. I done learned how to play it.
You have?
Oh, sure. Yeah, got that all learned.
Well?
I want to get the cornet done today so I can learn the piano tomorrow.
Piano?
Let's see now. Now, here's my place. Rules for breathing. The fundamental rule for the beginner.
Rules for breathing? Is that in there?
Yeah, I reckon they figure a fella can play the cornet better if he's breathing.
Well, natural he's going to do a heap more playing if he's alive. That book sounds awful silly to me.
Oh, no, it's good stuff.
Ah.
Rule for the beginner on the cornet is that the breath should be forced into the mouthpiece.
Wait a minute, Grandpapa. Oh, no, Squire skin.
Huh?
Squire. Reckon what that old skin flint wants.
Into the mouthpiece of the cornet without inflating the cheeks or protruding the lips. That's interesting.
Well, howdy, Squire. Come on in.
Well, gentlemen, how are my good friends today?
Just fine, Squire. You ever take up the cornet, Squire?
Cornet? Why, no, I never did, Grandpap, no. Have you heard anything about the fight over at Cherry Hill, Abner?
It's an awful easy instrument to take up.
No, we ain't, Squire.
Just reading about it here.
I'm expecting Cedric back any minute, though. He went over there to see it.
He did? Well, I don't imagine that he'll bring back very good news, Abner.
Wish I had one to try it on.
I feel rather sorry for little Mousey, fighting out of his class that way.
Out of his class?
Why, yes, Lum ought to know better than to throw his fighter into a match like that. He showed very poor judgment. Very poor.
Well, I don't know that it was so poor.
Now, Abner, anybody can see that. An inexperienced little fighter like Mousey Gray can't possibly have a chance against a big seasoned boxer like Iron Ike. Hasn't got a chance in the world, not a chance, no.
Well, what if Mousey gets in that first lick, though?
Well, yes, Grandpap, I grant you that is his one possibility. But it's a very slight one. And since Mousey has done that to him once, why, Iron Ike will be on his guard for that very thing.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, yes, he'd be looking for it. Nope, Mousey hasn't got a chance. And poor Lum, I don't know how any one man can make so many mistakes.
Now, just a minute, Squire. Lum don't make so many mistakes. Facts is, I think Mousey will win.
Abner, don't be ridiculous.
No, sir, I mean it. I'd be willing to bet anything that he will.
You would? Well, I'll tell you what I'll be willing to do, Abner. I'll put my insurance business up against your half of the store here and just take that little bet.
My half of the store? Oh, well, now, Squire...
Don't do it, Abner. Don't you do it.
I thought that would make you back down, and I don't blame you. The less you stake on Lum's judgment, Abner, the better off you are.
Hey, dogies, wait a minute, Squire. I believe I'll just take that bet.
Hey, Abner, watch what you're saying.
I know what I'm saying. Nobody ain't going to talk about Lum that way.
But, Abner, you can't risk your half the store here on Mousey's chances.
He already has, Grandpap.
Why, you can't do this to Abner. This is all he's got, this store here, and you know it.
Well, the insurance business is all I've got. Well, I have a few little sidelines, but the insurance is my main source of income.
Yeah, but listen, Squire, now...
Now, you listen to me, Grandpap. A bet is a bet, fair and legal. I just happen to have the better end of this little wager. And, as a matter of fact, this lucky loaf idea that Abner's operating in the bakery here is really my idea. So it's only right that I get something out of it.
What do you mean, your idea?
I was the one who originally gave the idea to Lum, and he just took it over without even consulting me.
Well, yeah, but the way you wanted to run it was unhonest, Squire. We changed that.
Well, it's the basic idea that counts, Abner, not the method of operation. Had I so desired, I could have brought suit against the bakery here and had a good case.
Well, Lum figured out the idea when he put that locket in that first loaf of bread. That was the beginning of the idea.
Well, he didn't know he had the idea, though, Grandpap. He put the locket in
here comes
there.
Cedric. Huh? Running like all get out. Now we'll find out who wins.
Well, I think we already know that, Grandpap. There can be only one answer to that.
Yeah, hurry up, Cedric. Who wins?
Yeah, hurry, Cedric. Did Mousey win?
Wait till I get my breath.
Well, hurry up.
Boy, you ought to seen it. That was some fight.
Well, how did it come out, Cedric? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, who got in that first lick? That's the one thing.
Yeah, who got the first lick, Cedric?
Oh, Mousey did.
Mousey?
Yes, and knocked Iron Ike right smack dab on his back.
He did? Well, good for Mousey. Good for him. Did you hear that, Squire?
Cedric, are you sure that that's what happened?
Yes, Mom. I was standing right next to the ring, and I seen it. Knocked him right smack dab on his back. Boy.
Well, I knew he'd do it. Knew it all the time, yes. Never was a doubt in my mind for 1 minute.
You knew it all the time.
Why, you said Mousey never had no chance, Squire. Just a minute ago you said that.
Oh, well, where'd you see Grandpap? Well, I was just joking, gentlemen. Just joking is all.
Joking? You made a bet here with Abner. Bet your insurance business again his half of the store.
Oh, Grandpap, why, you surely didn't think I was serious in that. That was just a little joke of mine. Just a little joke on Abner. You knew it was a joke, didn't you, Abner?
Why, no, I never knowed it was, Squire.
Well, I was just having a little fun out of you. I just wanted to see how far you'd go in backing up Lum. And I will say this for you, Abner. You've won my admiration. Well, I've got to be running along now, gentlemen.
Well, now, wait a minute, Squire.
No, I've got to get home, Abner. Give my congratulations to Lum and to Mousey. Well, I'll see you later. Good day.
Well, I'll be dog. That old skin flint. Makes a bet, and then when he loses, says it was a joke.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I wouldn't know what to do with his insurance business anyway. Dog, it is such a relief to know I'll never lose my half the store here, and I don't care what I win.
Well, whatever made you get into such a bet like that in the first place for?
Oh, I don't know. It just made me mad to have Squire talking that way about Lum. Reckon I never thought what I was doing.
Well, you said them same things yourself about Lum.
Well, I know, but that's different, Grandpap. I'm his friend. Anyway, we was both wrong, 'cause this is one idea that worked out right for Lum.
Yeah, all I got to say is you're awful lucky, Abner, awful lucky.
Dogged, I bet old Lum's happy. So what was the first thing you done after Mousey win the fight, Cedric?
After Mousey win what fight?
Why, the one over at Cherry Hill.
Well, Mousey never win that fight.
Well, you said he knocked Iron Ike right flat on his back.
Yes, Mom, he did, but then Iron Ike got up and just beat the everlasting daylights out of poor Mousey.
Oh, my goodness.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum is a man without a job now. His career as a fight manager folded up with Mousey's defeat at the hands of Iron Ike, and Abner is the full owner of the store and bakery by virtue of a paper which Lum signed as a joke. At least he thought it was a joke at the time. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner and Grandpappy Spears in the Jot 'em Down store, discussing Lum's situation. Listen.
Selling pencils? Was Lum actually doing that?
Why, sure. Come to the house early this morning to ask if we wanted to buy any pencils.
Well,
I never was so surprised in my life.
no.
I told him I'd be glad to take one, help him out, but he never sold me none.
He never.
No, he just kept talking about how hard it is to make a living selling pencils and all, and never did offer to sell it to me again.
Well, I do know.
And he kept saying not to tell you that he was forced into such a job as that, just to get himself a few crumbs to eat.
A few crumbs.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he told me not to tell you that once. He told me 100 times, I reckon.
Well, I do know. Well, he knowed you was coming over here to see me, so He just figured he'd work on my sympathies that way. That's about what he's up to. Yeah, I know him. He can't fool me. Doggies, I ain't gonna fall for it.
You ain't gonna take him back in the store at all, huh?
Of course I ain't. I'm gonna make him good and sorry he ever signed that paper giving me the store and bakery. That's the only way I can get him to where he'll actually appreciate what this store means to him and me, Grandpa.
Of course, he did look pretty hungry, Abner. I'll say that for him.
He's just putting that on. He's got some money left. He taken his share out of the cash drawer last week before him and Mousey went over to Cherry Hill for the fight.
Yeah, but he had to pay an entrance fee for Mousey, didn't he?
Well, yeah, just $10. And I knowed he had more than that with him. No, he ain't broke, I don't think.
Of course, he might have spent his money awful free there, figuring he was going to get some of that $1,000 they would have got if Mousey to win the fight from Iron Ike. Now, he might have did that.
Yeah, he might have, but, well, I ain't going to worry about Lum starving. Not for a few days, anyway.
Well, I hope you're right. Wasn't that your ring just now?
I don't get to believe it was. Sure it was. More like a Lum with some scheme to get back in the store here.
Yeah, I know he wants to get back the worst way.
Hello, jot him down, store and bakery. Who? Oh, no, this ain't Abner. He ain't here right now. Goodbye.
Oh, now, you oughtn't to treat Lum that way, Abner.
That warn't Lum as that dad-blame Squire scheme.
Squire?
Yeah. Though there's something you got to back me up on, too, Grandpap. Recollect that bet me and him made the other day?
You mean where you bet the store against Squire's insurance business on the fight?
Yeah. Well, you heard him call off that bet after Cedric come in and told us that Mousey knocked Iron Ike down. We all thought Mousey'd win.
Well, of course I did. Heard it with my own ears. Said it was just a joke.
Yeah.
Dad blamed old skinflint.
Well, now, since he's learned that Iron Ike got up and win the fight, why, Squire wants to hold me to the bet.
Well, I wouldn't listen to it a minute.
Wants to take my store.
Varmint, that snake in the weeds. Of course I'll back you up, Abner. And if he wants to take it to court, I'll get myself on the jury. That's what I'll do.
Good for you. I don't... Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
There comes old Lum.
Oh, my goodness.
He's heading over this way.
Yeah, look how slow he's walking.
Yeah, putting on.
Wonder if he sold any pencils yet.
Oh, no telling. Doggies, he does look sort of pale there, though, don't he?
Yeah, he does. Paler than he did this morning. He never looked that way when he's there at our house.
He never, huh?
Wait a minute. It looks like he's got flour on his face.
Huh? Oh, all right, doggies, that's it. Why, it's going on. Mind out. Here he comes. Act like you don't even notice how he looks.
No, I won't even look at him. I'll just sit over here in the library and read.
It don't, let on. Well, howdy, Lum. Come on in.
Howdy, Abner. Hello there, Grandpap. Howdy, Lum.
Nice of you to drop in, Lum. What can I do for you?
Oh, not much, I reckon, Abner. Just like to get a few groceries.
Why, sure. Be mighty happy to sell you some.
On a credit.
Credit?
Yeah, I hate to ask that of you, Abner, but when a feller ain't got no... Well, I'd rather not talk about it.
Well, now, if it's money you mean, Lum, I know you got some of that.
Abner, let's not discuss it at all. All I want's just a few groceries. Just a few crumbs, that's all. Just a few measly crumbs to keep this old shell of mine going.
Old shell?
Well, I can see you don't know what I'm talking about.
Huh?
I can understand why you don't. You're a prosperous citizen, rich and contented, owner of a big store and bakery here. Here I am, just a feller out selling, but I don't want you to know that.
Know what?
Did Grandpap mention anything to you about me selling pencils?
Oh, no, he didn't. Not a word, I don't think.
Never, huh?
No.
Well, I don't want you to know about it, Abner. I don't want you to feel sorrowful for me just because I can't even sell a few pencils.
Well, have you got any to sell?
Oh, yeah, I scraped up a few pennies and invested in some capital stock of pencils. Did you want to buy some?
Well, let's see 'em. Let's see what you got. Oh, yeah, it's just like we got in the store here. How much you getting for 'em, Lum?
10 cents. Just 10 cents apiece.
10 cents? Well, them's just penny pencils, Lum. That's what I sell 'em for.
I know. That's what I had to pay for 'em, though. So I got to sell 'em for 10 cents to make a profit.
Oh, well, you'll never get nobody to pay that much for 'em, Lum. Why don't you go down to Mousey's barber shop, Lum? Mose is still looking for a shoe shine boy. He'll hire you.
Shoe shine boy?
Yeah, of course. It don't pay much, but it's steady work. You could live.
No, Abner. I ain't got no experience at that. I wouldn't fit in down there no way.
You wouldn't, huh?
No. Feller's just good for one thing, looks like. You take somebody like, say, some feller that's spent all of his life building up a store and bakery, for instance, and then when somebody takes it away from him, he just ain't no good for nothing else.
Well, now, I never took the store away from you.
No, I know you never. It was all my own fault. Everything's fair and legal.
Oh.
I ain't gonna lawsuit you or nothing. I'm just done for, and that's all they are to it. Clean done for.
Oh, well, now, you oughtn't to feel that way about it, Lum.
Well, feller may as well face the truth. But you don't need to worry about me, Abner. I'll be all right. I'll write you once in a while from the orphan's home.
Orphan's home?
Yeah, never aimed for you to know that, but now that you found out, I may as well tell you, I reckon. I put in my application for a place over at the orphan's home there this morning.
I don't believe that, Lum.
No, sir, it's the truth, Abner. Fact is, I'm expecting a phone call from them any minute now. And they're going to tell me if they'll take me. Might not even get in there.
Well, Lum, you can't go to the orphan's home.
I'm an orphan, ain't I?
Well, yeah, but, them orphans over there is little bitty ones. You're a grown-up man, Lum.
I don't see what difference age makes. Orphan's an orphan. He's got to go someplace.
Yeah.
Besides, I'll make him a good orphan. I can chop wood and bake bread, and I know how to do that work from, in here in the old days.
Oh.
Maybe somebody will take me and raise me and feed me and clothe me.
You're just saying them things. I don't believe a word that you've told me.
Well,
orphan's home, for the land's sake.
Think whatever you like, Abner. I can't be hurt no more than I am now, anyway.
Well, now, to be honest, Lum, I ain't doggies, Lum. I don't know what to think about it, but I know that you can't go to no orphan's home. Wait a minute. I believe that's my ring.
Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never.
Hello? Jot 'em down, store and bakery. Oh? I can't understand you. Huh? Oh, just a minute. Here, Lum, for you, the orphan's home, they said.
Well, good. I was feared they wouldn't call. Thank you. Hello. Yes, this is Little Lum Edders. Orphan Lum. You haven't. Well, good. I'll bring my things on over there tonight.
Well, I'll be dead blamed. He's serious.
Yes, all right. Thank you ever so much. Goodbye. Well, I guess that's that, Abner. Reckon this is goodbye for us.
Well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. Now, let's talk this thing over first, Lum.
Well, you heard the phone call, Abner. I can't keep 'em waiting for me. I gotta go home and get my things together.
Well, now, wait a minute. Doggett, where'd I put that paper that you signed?
No, now, don't go getting that out, Abner. That's a legal document. You don't want to tear that up or nothing. do you?
Yes, sir, I'm going to tear it up. Order did it long ago. I'll carry this thing too far.
Well, I don't want you to do it just 'cause you feel sorrowful for me, Abner. I can stay at the orphan's home there till somebody adopts me.
Now, don't talk that way, Lum. You make me so ashamed of myself I don't know what to do. Where did I put that paper?
No, I won't let you do that now, Abner. I signed the store over to you, and I'm getting just what's coming to me. Maybe you put it in that top drawer over there.
Yeah, that's just about where it's at. Just about.
How did it sound, Mr. Lum? Cedric, you get out of here.
What's the matter, Cedric?
Did I fool you, Mr. Abner?
Fool me?
Yes, Mom. Did I sound like the orphan's home all right?
Huh?
Get out of here, Cedric.
Well, I'll be dead blame. All right, doggies, just for that, Lum Eddard, you ain't never going to get this store back.